Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Heavenly Delusion, episode 11, which is just too fitting, isn't it? Last episode, we reconnected with Juichi, and that's most of what I want to talk about here. We're going to surmise and guess a couple things about the kids in the facility, but mostly we got to talk about the Juichi portion. The Juichi arc? Fuck yeah. Out of all the side characters that we've met over the course of our wanderings through this post-apocalyptic world, and we've met quite a few, from the King of Hotels to Dr. Usami to the squad of sort of gang members who tried to kill us, all sorts of people. But it is Juichi, a character that is introduced almost as a joke. Like, if he hadn't had a second episode, I would have thought that that was entirely the whole of Juichi. Is he shows up, he tells some lies as stories, and then he tries to manipulate us because we're looking for a particular symbol, and he drives in front of it and is like, "Ooh, like you can't see the symbol," and then he drives off into the beyond, and that's all we ever see of Juichi, and I would have been perfectly fine with that. But instead, he's not a joke character. He's not a one off character, and he bucks the trend of these characters coming in and then just as rapidly exiting the lives and surroundings of our mains. Instead, Juichi comes back thinking that they might actually be able to help him. And it turns out that his story is entirely not a lie, entirely true. So why does he marker the stuff on his arm? Some people in my Discord commented about this and went back and forth on it a little bit. And the prevailing opinion seems to be that he believes that the walled town still exists. So he's out there telling this story. And if he were to get caught, he would go, "Look, guys, it's just a joke. I'm not really from there. It's just a joke. I heard these rumors from some other dude." Which sounds crazy, but Juichi's a little crazy, so I buy it. And I can kind of put that away. But he returns, and he tells us the whole of his story and asks us to go investigate the walled town. And we find it. It really existed. We've had a lot of questions over the course of this show as to whether the sort of orphanages and weird associations that were doing strange things really existed, or whether they're like figments, whether people have sort of made them up as rumors in order to explain weird goings on. This one's real. This one was real. And it was bad and really real. The walled town was real. The boars as breeding stock were real because we meet some of them and they've survived it. The place has fallen since then because there's a monster. Where did the monster come from? It has to be one or both of the mothers. And that blows the whole understanding of Hiruko's up a little bit. Because it raises questions like, how do they transform? What makes that happen? What's required for it to happen? And I don't really know. I don't really know. Juichi made a plan, and he followed it through. It's a strange thing because he's a character that I didn't have faith in. I didn't think that he was capable or competent. I thought that he would act rashly and sort of foolishly, but instead he gives away his vehicle, ensuring there is no vehicle to pursue him once he's made his escape. He makes his move, he gets his revenge, and it seems in the moment when his face shifts that the man he killed, the other boar, felt in some way that that was correct. The whole circumstance is so complicated, and so many pieces get introduced so fast and then happen so fast. We go from uncertainty about the whole of the walled town to certainty that it exists to not knowing what the fuck we're going to be able to do about it, to finding all the other boars and the kid, and then that whole finding is woven intricately with all these under the surface interactions between him and the boar who got his friends killed, got the women killed, and this like knowing that's going on, this knowing but not telling, not saying, hidden secrets between these two characters that then explode out in a bloody scene that's dark and ominous and kind of gross. All of it after finding out that the boy has the same ability, or something very close to it, as the spider that his mother became. What does it all mean, man? How does it all connect? I know that there's like a through line. There's the DNA of the actual core idea of the thing, and it's at the center of everything. And if I understood it completely, I think so many more things would make sense. And I think it's the Hirokos and how people become Hirokos or Hirokos become people or whatever the fuck goes on there. How that interaction works, I think, explains the calamity at the beginning. I think it explains the children in the facility and the carrot babies and the child with the powers of the other thing, and but I don't know how it all clicks. Not yet. That baby is a freezing problem, and Juichi is out of here. Freedom. The wide open road. I doubt we'll see him again. We don't need to. He just achieved his objective. So now, with that piece of the story over and done with, there's been one major thing introduced to us for what's coming next, and that is the arrival of a new batch of children. And I said this a bunch when we first got them, when we first saw them. They scare the shit out of me. They do not seem the way that children should seem, and I really wonder what's going on with that. In part because this episode I pulled up, and it's titled "The Test Begins." And I can't help but think of the way that What's-Her-Face, the soon-to-be new director of the facility, stood up in front of all these children that she's been in charge at some level of and interacting with for years, for their whole childhoods. Children that she cares about at least a little bit, even if she professionally isn't allowed to. And with emotion in her voice tells them, actually, I want to find out, I want to see exactly what she says. Because she implores them to, like, be strong and everything will be fine as long as you do things good or whatever. But I want to make sure that I find exactly what she says. No matter what happens, you must aim for the right future. If you're confused, listen to what your heart tells you. What a vague speech. Yeah, absolutely. I think this is the test. So it says the test begins. I think something about bringing these other children in is the test. I wonder if they're going to try to kill each other. I don't know what the fuck is going to happen here. But I think this is the test. And I think that everybody is extremely nervous for it. And I wonder if the test leads up to the day that has been promised, Because there's some weird prophetic shit going on in the background. So have I painted a picture of confusion? Like, there are lots of little pieces that make perfect sense. Juichi's actual motivations and the way that he acts over the course of the thing didn't make complete sense to me, but with a little bit of perspective looking back, it makes perfect sense to me and is honestly, like, badass. It's kind of an amazing set of plays that he makes. He starts out scheming and conniving and kind of jokey and sort of silly, but he ends that punchline with the most, like, horrifying, blood dripping down his face, blood on the kid's blocks, but also kind of beautiful because it's him recapturing something and heading off into the world. And then he drives past this, like, running figure of himself, and he can say in the back of his head, "See you, bye-bye," to that person is how I take it. As far as just a one and a little bit episode arc, oh, wow, what a good one. What a good one. I think it was really good, interesting, fucked up, but fascinating storytelling. The Juichi portion, I think, is my favorite. I think is my favorite portion of the show so far. And that's tough because there's been a lot to this show so far. And that's crazy because it's only been 10 episodes of show, but it does feel like a lot more. It's been densely packed with interactions and unique characters and oddities and strange circumstances. And Juichi led us into a couple more of those and then got himself out of them. Although I don't know if you can consider him out of strange circumstances when he has a frostsicle baby sitting in the passenger seat. Blah! So, Juichi's free. We gotta go on go on going on. We have a vehicle, but it sort of doesn't work. We'll see if it ends up actually kicking on. And shit is popping off inside the facility. So, what's next? I don't know. It's Heavenly Delusion. It can do it at once. I'm going to do a drawing. I've got a simple idea. Okay, simple. Driving past himself. Alright, I'm happy with that. Leave him behind. See you. Bye-bye. Alright, and with that, we are ready to roll for episode 11. So fitting. So fitting. So scary. I think we're turning our attention directly to the children in the facility. I'm really excited to see what's wrong with these other kids. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just framing and they're just meant to be a little bit ominous and they're going to be totally normal, totally fine batch of normal children. Or they're going to turn into Hiruko goo and try to eat you. Two versions. Picture-in-picture in the description, timer on YouTube, early access on the Patreon. Thanks for supporting. Subscribe and like the video. I never mentioned those, but they are helpful. Let's watch. PiP timer. Okay, everything seems totally fine. There's the one that I thought was gonna murder everybody, and she's fine. There's the other one I thought was gonna murder everybody, and she's fine. Wait, she has giant long ears. Wait, she has giant long ears. Those aren't just hair. Yeah, me too. So Kono's getting those messages? Whoa, he feels it. He feels it? And he sees it. Poor Tokyo. You should not, at whatever age she is, be forced to give birth. That's so wrong. Also, it develops so fucking fast. It's creepy. I'm very glad sometimes that I'm male. And that we don't live in an Omegaverse world. Okay, it seems like the van's been running. Have you seen it? Oh. Well. Oh. Huh. Huh. Yeah, they might think you're really bad at with cars. Oh. 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 Yeah, we know. We know in our hearts. So we're going to Ibaraki. Holy shit, it's a baby. It's a humanoid baby-ish. Where are all the carrots? Combatants? Combatants? Wait. Wait. That's a super Kiru beam. That's a fair answer. It's the only answer you can give. We'll have to take the bet. Huh? Huh? Birthed by Mina? She's a little off. Combatants? With Kiru beams? Uh-huh. Now we focus on Izanagi and Izanami now. Shackles of human mortality. Yeah. Her her brain in a kid's body? Kill you. Yes. Oh man. Oh, that's too bad. Ah, that would have been really funny. Yeah, dude, you seem off. Well, it's been blown wide open. This is a body transplanting situation. She wants to replace Aoshima so she can remain in power. Dude, you know too much. I'm the queen in my castle. Oh, wow. Actively mocking God. Sure, sure. We're in too far. And indeed it has been. Hi, Aoshima, I assume. Oh. But he can't tell her. He has to tell her. Combatants? Oh. That's probably fine. Hmm. Hmm. On the beach, mankind's final days. Hmm. Hopefully we haven't already been spotted. That's probably good. Is somebody out there? Oh, yeah. No. There is, though. That's not a small amount either. Hmm. Figure out where it is. Combatants? Whoa. This is a different facility. Wait, that's Robin. Wait, that's Inazaki Robin. Hi! Why did they show that to us? That's crazy. Okay, so the Ibaraki one is not this one. This one's in Nara. We now know that pretty clearly. Those are ears. All right, Ray. Okay. Hi, Oma. Why do you think that? I'm scared of her eyes. What the fuck? Why did it grab her? Did the girl do this? Or is this all a hallucination? She's hallucinating this. Wait, those were scenes from inside the place with the person. Usami. Is there real blood? Is there real blood? Or did she just hallucivision her? No piercings, right? It was all hallucinated. Holy fuck, I was like, what a crazy response system from the facility. Nah. Coma? Kona? Synchro? Hmm. You want to talk about that? But they felt so real. But if you can synchro, can she synchro? To somebody outside? Yeah, I know that, Mimi Hime. Like Asura floating. What's that sound? Oh! Oh! Oh, it's happening right now. He's flowing with blood. Oh my god. He's that. No, he is that, isn't he? Or will be? What the fuck? She's the most important piece in all of this? Yeah, okay. I would want to be alone, away from things that trigger that. Poor kid. Oh. She's really sorry. Whoa. She knows it's a hallucination, though. She's doing this intentionally. Why, Mimi Hime? Oh, she's gaining power over it. This is ERP, dude. Fucking self-ERP therapy. Let's go, Mimi Hime. I am affected. I am affected. Hi, Mina. How you doing? You weird fucking brain creature? It looks pretty open. These are just the IT guys. Hmm. Under direct instructions. Whoa, interesting. Yeah, what is it? Huh. Uh-huh. But nobody said that. Ah, we've gone too far. That's the second time. And Mina pushes us forward. Because she's on kind of rails, I assume. They've got a plan? Hmm? It's never simple with him. Sawatari! Man, we're kicking a thing off. That's cute. Cute and silly. Oh, my one friend! Tokyo returns! She's alive! I'm terrified. I'm like, my heart rate is way up. And their eyes across at each other. We have an important announcement. You will all be given weapons and forced to battle. No, but not everybody knows. Is this the Aoshima plan? Sota. No, so is your role as Hiruko? Excuse me? Oh my god, is one of them gonna transform? It's your mission as Hiruko? But that refers to the Izanagi Izanami situation, right? I'm so worried. I'm so scared. The booms in the background. Uh-huh. One of them is gonna transform. I really think that's what's gonna... Yes. Feeding the baby. Maybe the baby's gonna transform. What the fuck, man? Hungry baby. I don't know what that says. Tokyo Junior. Okay. What? 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 Was that an identical baby? It said Junior C. What? Where did another baby come from? Is it a Hiruko that they transformed? Or a carrot? What the fuck? Oh no. Oh, I don't like that noise. Mina's off. Mina's off. Facility offline. Ah! This tempts me to watch the next one, but I think I need to watch the next two together. So we will leave this as setup. What a setup. There's almost nothing that I can, like, grab onto, though. Like, this might end up being a really short, like, shockingly short discussion. But I don't see another way that I can go about this. Okay, I think this episode is excellent at one thing in particular. It's good at a bunch of things, but it is excellent at one thing in particular, and that is tone setting. Tone setting, mystery building, vibe creation, whatever you want to call it. This episode is doing that, which is pretty cool. Last episode sort of concluded its own internal arc, and so we kind of have to start somewhere new. We have the whole basis of the rest of the show, but we've got to start over in terms of tone. This is true of every episode. Every episode, you can start with a new tone and you can build us into it. And I think this one does an amazing job of building us into a tone. And it is a spooky tone, and it's the feeling that you have in a horror movie when a character is walking down some hallway or something and you know there's something sinister that's going to happen, but you're not being shown like shots from the monster's perspective with growling noises where it's like really explicit. It's just the implicit. It's just the under the surface feeling that something is off. And it's like, what is it? Is it the tone of the music? Is it the way that we're holding shots a little bit too long? Is it the sudden jumps at something unexpected and then the reveal that they're nothing? What is it? What's creating this feeling that's like wiring into the base of my spinal column and bypassing the conscious portion of my brain entirely? Because that's what this episode feels like. It gets my conscious mind like spinning, and I'm spinning and I'm spinning, but I'm not going anywhere. But where work is happening is deeper, is under the surface, is the feel of things. And then there are little bits that keep the mind spinning, that keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. But under the surface, it's slipping in creepy. It's slipping in uncertain. And it's slipping in like rug pulls and misunderstandings. With the reveal that the children can have powers in the way that we saw with the frosty baby, we sort of expand that immediately by revealing with more clarity what Kona has and does, with more clarity what Mimihime has and does. But it's still so unclear. It's still so uncertain. I'm still waiting for some piece to click. Oh, it's so interesting. This episode is amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And I said it as I was coming out because like I'm really tempted to watch the next one, but I think that watching the two final episodes at once is a better idea. Maybe I'll be wrong on that, but it's the assumption that I'm going to make here, that taking this tone and then being ready for all the information in the next two is going to be really important. There are some pieces that we can absolutely place from this episode, but it tempts me to watch more because it's done such a good job of setting up tone that I'm just like, what's gonna happen? Where's the click? What's gonna go? And yet at the same time, there's almost nothing that's like, that's obvious that I can grab onto and be like, this means this, and I can build an understanding out of that. Every piece of information that is given, it's like just enough pieces to fill out what should be a picture and give me a mystery, but I don't actually see how they all fit together. Oh, wow. Okay, okay, okay. Let's go through it a little bit. So the kids, we have that sinister introduction of these children, but it's almost as though the sinisterness of their introduction is not about them at all, and it's about what they're here for. It's about what the adults are doing with them, almost, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's something that's a little off about them, too. But they all seem to get along just great. It's the first day at school, everybody's bouncing around, everything's good, man. Those are Mimihime's ears. I do think that we saw that at one point, but it sort of just like flew under my radar. Gosh, that's weird. That is so strange. Yeah, he's got eyes on her. I bet Tokyo would like that? Wouldn't like that. I heard she's keeping in touch with Takona, and we snapped to Tokyo giving birth. Oh boy, to start us off with like genuine pain and horror here, this is among the most horrifying real world things that large portions of the population face on a regular basis. The pushing a watermelon out of yourself is just insane, and I said it when it was happening, but it makes me very glad to not be female. Um, it's beautiful, it's amazing. There are lots of awesome things about the facts of childbirth, but golly, it's horrifying. And for a partially developed child to be going through this, I'm dying, I'm gonna die, and Kona feels it too. Whoosh. Almost like the scenes in the OP where stuff whooshes forth. Kona sees and feels the baby will be born. And we pull out to these like idyllic scenes of got a cross-country road trip in a cool old van. Hell yeah. We banter about what to name it, but none of this feels terribly consequential. It's just good banter between our characters and, solid vibes and good facial expressions, and it flows the show. We're headed toward one of the facilities, and we're going to find out a little bit later because the camera lets us know that that's probably not where the other facility is, Cute little baby. She scratches with her finger. This conversation between the current director and Dr. Sawatari, this feels like such a centerpiece of the episode. It's the first time that the mask has fully dropped from the... Oh, it's not the first time. She's freaked out a couple of times, but those read more as like, this is just an old lady who's doing her job as well as she can, right? She's kind of freaking out at everybody because it's important. But now it reads as freaky and malicious, kind of evil. It's also not lost on me that in the midst of this conversation, she's sitting there with a laser gun sitting right next to her. Like, he's under threat in this moment, even from this old lady. Not to mention the robots that are probably at her beck and call and might actually have some countermeasures built in. So I said it like a dozen times during the episode because I'm still absolutely fascinated by this line, and we don't get an explanation of it over the course of the episode. Tell me the status of the combatants. Who are the combatants, lady? Are they the oldest kids? Is that what this is? Or are they the new stock? Or are they particular kids that have been swapped with their Hiruko counterpart? Or something like that, and then triggered by the speech that they just gave. I'm thinking it's something fucking crazy like that. But I don't know, man. It's weird. And then how does the Hiruko shit play into the body immortality brain transferring stuff? I don't know, man. I really don't know. After transportation, so there are 8 of them. They all woke from suspended animation. Their prototype, which they'll be using, I assume, the Super Beam. It's a built-up Kira Beam. Same symbol, same design, but different. Improved. Also ready. My next concern is the children's illness. Will the 5th years succumb to it as well? Is there... Is that... Has this been done before? Has this already happened? That doesn't make sense. Has the other facility already gone through these steps, and is that why the Cure Beam that we do have has been released to the public? Or was that stolen as I don't fucking know. It's just literally no way to know, is there? Interesting, man! How is there a Cure Beam out there? Where did it come from? Super Beam, you know? How did the not sister who came and dropped off Maru get it, and how did she get the disease? Was she at the other facility? Was she one of the combatants? And then they're like maybe let free and they wander around, have to fight Hirukos and stuff? I don't fucking know. It doesn't make sense. Will the illness spread? And he gives like a non-committal answer, but it turns out, given the framing, that that's all he could really say. And she just gets angry at him, which sort of catapults us into her freaking out a little bit. I'm not in a position to say that there's no possibility that it'll happen. I'm saying it's a possibility. We don't know the cause. We don't know the cure. And so there's nothing that we can do about it. And that's really interesting. We really don't understand the disease portion. So we'll have to wager on the baby, of course. And at this point, we start cutting in closer to facial features and getting really sinister. Born from 2 children, and she gets almost religious. Not birthed by Mina, but by 2 children, the way it's supposed to be. Something totally unexpected, something different altogether. We'll have to wager everything on that child. He says, yeah, she says, you'll do it, won't you? And he just bows down. We pan up to the picture while she says, it's up to me to ensure with my own eyes. So I can't pass this on to somebody else. This is the duty that I've been given. It just so happens that if I were materially interested in living forever, that this duty that I've been given would, be reason to make sure that I live forever. Maybe be enough that I could convince everybody else that I should live forever too. Reminiscent a little bit of the amputee lady railing. It's like that. It's like a way of creating power. Ensure with my own eyes that heaven blooms in this utterly broken world. However, it can't be done unless the shackles of human mortality are broken. We must ourselves become like gods if we are to actually create heaven, because they were gods who created heaven, right? It's so fascinating. It makes sense in a weird religious cult-y kind of way. This is the very role of this academy. I just want to mention a design decision. These like over bright highlights that cover most of her iris, they obscure her pupil. You look at my eye, you can see my sclera, the white part, and you can see the blue-gray part, which is the iris, and then the pupil. And the fact that there's a separation between the iris and the pupil is something that you really, really strongly rely on subconsciously to trust that I'm a real human being, like really strongly. And it helps that there are like reflections of the lights that I have out here. Those create a little bit of liveliness in people's eyes, like people like that. This doesn't create liveliness. These aren't little highlight dots that add something. They take something away. They make her pupils invisible. They make her iris and pupil invisible. And that means she's not human in this moment. She doesn't look like a person. She looks like a ghoul staring out of a face mask. It's unsettling. I think it's cool. This is the Academy's role. Yeah, I know. So why are you telling me this? He says, but for brain transplants to work, the container must be 15 years, or at the very least, 13 years old. We know one person who's had a brain transplant already, don't we? That was a young brain put into. I mean, she was at least 13, right? I don't know how old she was when the crash happened. So I bet that doctor worked here. Doc. Maybe at the first version of the facility? Man, I don't know. But it blows things open. Why are we raising these kids and, like, keeping them healthy and all that stuff? At one point, I thought about organs, right? Like, maybe we steal their organs and put them in the old people. That'll do it. Why steal one organ at a time when you can just transfer the only important organ you have left into a fresh new husk? Fuck, man. And if that fresh new husk has superpowers, all the better. Hey, maybe it being partly Hirukoi is actually a requirement for the brain transplanting to work. The connection between things, like, they seem to be able to glue different types of people together. So I wonder. Oh man, I don't know. The container must be 15 or 13 years old, and she lights up at this. You're saying I won't live for another? Real emphasis on all the lines in her face. More and more, she becomes like a mask, like a devil mask, like an Oni mask. Ugh. I see how it is. I'm just some dried up granny. You don't need me. The level of power differential that's present here is really scary. She scares me here. And I think she scares him too, and that's why he won't speak out, He almost has a heart attack, but it's just angina or something similar. So we give her her damn pills. Fuck! And she's fine. Yeah, I get it. My years are limited. I've been acting flustered. I'm losing it a little bit. So I'll just start the process off a little bit early by stealing She doesn't phrase it as stealing her body. By becoming her. We put all these lines in the back into her eyes. Mazu. It's the obvious logical solution when you don't have any compunctions about killing people. He's a little spooked. And then I'll wait patiently for the container to mature. Throw off those mortal shackles, indeed. So just steal a convenient body for the short term and then body hop again into the perfect new body that has been built for me. Oh, it recolors the dudes talking underneath who are like, I wonder what we're building here. Like, that's weird. I can withstand a second transplant if I wait that long. I knew it! That's why you raised her privileges. Has she even agreed? She doesn't respond. It's obvious that you would have eventually become director. No worries, right? So she's set everything up so that she has a protege who can literally become her. Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect power grab. Allowed? By who? This is where it all kind of falls apart, doesn't it? Because we can lean on the loftiness of our ideology and like, oh, these grand purposes and stuff. But when we get right down to it, these are human beings making decisions for their own purposes. Do you think this is allowed? Allowed by who? Dareni? Law? Irrelevant. International public opinion doesn't exist. All we have is our own choices. Or perhaps, maybe you meant something bigger. Kami? Oh, so scary. Hmm. Now, I agree on, like, a fundamental logical level. I agree with this. You decide. You are the decider. It's your purpose in some way. It's what our brains are here for. Make choices. And she's right that in the absence of these other things, there's nobody to judge but you yourself. And yet, first off, that judgment is important. Getting away with something because there isn't some external authority to tell you that it was wrong and punish you for it doesn't mean that it won't harm you. Doesn't mean that it's good. Doesn't mean that it will generate good. So like your own judgment is important. You have to live with yourself, especially if you're doing this in the framework of living forever. But we get a counter to that. We get a really solid, I think, philosophical counter to that. Well, maybe not solid, but useful, workable. And that is, we've already crossed so many taboos. Why not one more? Yeah, there you go. You say, I know it's wrong, but I don't have a choice. We've already gone so far. The only thing that could justify all the evil that we've done is succeeding in the end. And so we must continue. This project must go on. I think that's the mode that horrifyingly evil projects that have gone too far and then you realize that they're actually evil, but then you can't stop. I think that's where you end up. It's like, well, we can't stop. We got to keep going forward. Maybe there's a way out and through. And I'm a fan of the way out is through sort of idea, but it's when it's like the way out is by doubling down on the evil and doing more evil in order to make sure that we gain all the power and then we can solve the problems. It just gets me thinking of stuff like Vinland Saga, and it's like, you're never going to create a world of peace through war. You're never going to create a world that's heavenly by acting like demons. It's going to be bad. She mocks God. Man, it stands out so much. You know, you wait because this is fiction. You wait for karmic justice to swing its hammer, right? We wait for the sword of Damocles to fall, for lightning to strike, and for her to be smote by the narrative, right? She dares to mock God when she's a fictional character. You better be careful, but I think the point is that her mockery goes unheard, unanswered, because we are really alone. And yet, I wonder. We use things like God, things like law, things like international public opinion as stand-ins, but there are things that we should not do. There are things that you can do that destroy you. Like, there are actions that you can take where you are never the same again. You can never be the same again. I think that murder is one of those things. I think it seems really clear to me. We've got a lot of history of murder and a lot of religious significance around murder and a lot of thought and a lot of philosophy and a lot of, again, religion around it. And like the core through line is that it destroys you to do that. You break up a piece of your soul almost. It's a strange thing, but it's one of the things in the writing of Harry Potter that I think is really good, is that the creation of Horcruxes is done by horrifying, murderous, evil acts that break the user's own soul. And by doing that, you make yourself more resilient, oddly, to death, right? By doing more evil, more taboos, you shatter yourself into more pieces, and then you become unbreakable because you're already broken into a lot of pieces. Double down on your taboo. Go further and further in order to get more power and go all the way through. Ugh. But I think there are actions that we can take that really break us, that really destroy us. Things that you can't come back from. And I think she's like 50 years into doing those one after another, you know? So, like, how many pieces is her soul in? Enough that she's happy to turn and mock everything that, like, that others might hold dear or important. These are all just names for conformity. You already know that. And aren't you here to avoid being tied down by such things? I wonder what he's running from, like what his nonconformity really is, because we haven't seen it in Dr. Sawatari. We haven't seen like some weird perversion or the need to cut people up or something crazy. We haven't seen that. We don't know why he's here. Isn't that why we created heaven? There's no turning back. We continue or we fail entirely. Now make sure that child is delivered safely. And here we are. It's so cute. Ah, yummy bread. Bread from before times. So there are a couple of moments where we had like an old world problems require old world solutions, and then there's the can from the before times is yummy. It's all these things where it's like, man, life must have been good back then. I wonder how that sort of fits into everything else in the episode. I don't really see it. I want to look up this book. So I think it's here for a reason. I've also heard of this. I've heard of this book, but I don't remember the context in which I heard of it. Oh, it's multi-meaninged. So it's a reference to Eliot's poem The Hollow Men. In this last of meeting places, we grope together and avoid speech, gathered on this beach of the Tumid River. It's also a phrase in the Royal Navy that indicates retirement from service. It's about a group of people in Australia waiting for the nuclear fallout from a Northern Hemisphere nuclear war to reach them and kill them. So it's a slow rolling inevitability, a knowledge that it's all going to come to an end. You're just sitting there waiting. It's thematically relevant for sure. I'm going to dig a little bit deeper in and see if there's anything more that I can grab from it. Generally, they accept their fate, and it details the last days of many of these people as they decide what to do, and most of them end up taking suicide pills to avoid succumbing to the long death of radiation poisoning. There are a bunch of little stories like an exposition via submarine up to Seattle to see whether there are people left. Wow. An emotional wallop. Yeah, it seems like it. Okay, very cool book to find randomly. Let's keep ourselves nice and hidden. We gotta be extra careful, and then we do this night scene. He sees smoke. A lot of smoke. Rising, rising. There must be a light source under it. It's right over there. We won't move at night. We'll go tomorrow. It's almost like it's steam rising from pipes and tubes or something. And in this facility, a different facility, I think, Inazaki Robin, the person she has been chasing from the beginning, waits for us. Fascinating and terrifying. How will that play out? I don't know. So Mimihime hears somebody playing alone, goes and investigates. Don't you want to play? No, I'll just annoy them. I'll just be a bother. She starts to weep and weep. So she removes her glasses, and it's Hiruko fucking hypnosis. Bam! Boom! This is such a cool scene. Really cool mechanical stuff. Super ultra mega horrifying. I mean, golly. All the needles, all the saws and blades. It's pretty familiar, isn't it? What the fuck is up with that, man? Why is this some Dr. Usami shit? What the fuck is up with that, man? And there's more later. Dude, that's in there. That's the location, right? Right? This is Dr. Usami's place? Those are the cables and cords and stuff? That's the before times. So that's an unknown. That's an injection. She hates needles, so maybe she was injected with something when she was really young. Calamity, collapse stuff? Or maybe somebody else's memories? Bandages. Tons of bandages. Bloody, bloody bandages. Dude, those are that girl. And the spray of blood against the cloths. Oh, and the screen. The screen is the 100% proof. Dude, that's Maru and her. Wait, these are memories from like now, from like recently. Oh, but we know that she has connection to the dead. We know that she has connection to the dead, don't we? Because she connected with. Okay, wait, we don't. I've assumed it because I think that the hand that she grabs in that scene is Dr. Usami's hand, right? So if she does have connections to the dead, this might be a connection with the girl who's dead, right? Oh, what the fuck, man? Dude, I think that's Maru. I think that's us. And that's the moment looking up at the sky. Those are her last moments. Mimihime is seeing those. And so I do really think then that the person that she like shepherds to the underworld is Usami. Mina watching over, and the flashes are over. Dude, I have no idea. I have no idea. So crying, sad of having caused more problems. Poor Oma. Poor Mimihime. Sounds like you had a nightmare. Nope, nothing wrong with my body, but I synchronized with Tokyo. She's fine, but you're not. That's weird. That's not synchronization. I wonder if he's synchronized with something else, too. The baby? I don't fucking know, man. Why are you here? Well, I saw her eyes, and I saw things. My worst fears. For some reason, sharp objects terrify me. And it's not like I have a scary memory of anything involving things like that. Not from your mind. Not in your memories. But she feels somebody else's memories. She's like getting the memories of the dead or something. What is happening? I get it, you have a phobia, it's fine. Sometimes I'm afraid of being trapped in small spaces. Sometimes I see things. Oh man, and our camera gets immediately a little bit creepy. I see things others don't, like weird figures floating or a vision before something occurs. But it's always vague, and I don't know when it'll happen. Sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes it does. Like right now. and it speaks in Kona's voice, dripping goo. It's not the first one, right? It's not quite the same as the first one. It's a little similar though. When I say the first one, I mean the one that caused the amalgamation of oh, and they did like reverb and stuff on the voice. Go away, go away, go away, and it does. She gains some control, some agency over it. And then decides that she might be able to take some more. So she intentionally looks into the eyes, lets the fucking horrifying vision come. The way all these tubes and pipes glow and emerge out of this thing is so cool. Ah! Closes her eyes, go away, go away, go away, go away. And she does it. In a blinding burst of light, she dispels the vision. Mimihime has some power over this. I don't know what the point of this scene is, but it's really interesting to me. I really like that it develops the idea that there are a bunch of people working on this who believe in the ideas in some way, but in the way that a cult never really lets everybody know what the big picture is. They don't know what they're building. And Mina is giving them these very like plug A into B, B into C instructions so they can never get a real picture of what's really going on. That's really interesting. It sets up an image of the whole organization, really. And all these people who are kind of accomplices to it without really understanding. What exactly are we building? No, not just these machines. What are we actually building? We're creating heaven in a perfect world, or in a broken world. No questions. But when it's done, what then? It's almost as though it's not what we're actually building. They keep pushing us to finish, but we have no idea what comes after. Well, I presume that we're going to expand to heaven outside the walls. We'll grow it to take over everything, right? Yeah, that seems pretty clear. Of course, that's what we're doing. But nobody has said that. That isn't actually the plan, is it? I guess you're right. We've already crossed so many taboos as it is. Even not knowing what our end goal is, even not having the ability to go ends justify the means. In this case, it's almost like the evil we've already committed justifies the means. After doing all of that, it doesn't matter what we have to do next. We have to make it worthwhile. We have to push through. Ugh. Please continue with the task. God is telling us it's time. Preliminary arrangements were made. The gate might be opened, and then he leaves. Unclear whether he's actually gonna go through with whatever plan they have. He seems to really be the linchpin of all this. These slow shots just across the facility make me feel like it's like the last time that things are gonna be normal here. Ugh. So we all gather together. We give an announcement. Tokyo's here. Please quiet down and gather around. Oh, what lesson are they doing? They're all together. I don't know. Shouldn't everybody be aware of crazy stuff going on like this? Unless this is Sawatari and Aoshima's plan. A long test, but you will have plenty of time. Like a lifelong test? Please proceed the way you believe is correct to reach Soto no Soto. Immediately, everybody who's heard that before perks up. To reach what's waiting beyond outside is your role as Hiruko. That's what you're for. So where does the word Hiruko come from? And how do so many of them, like, recognize it? Is it 8 of them who recognize it? Because it was 8 who had been, like, defrosted, right? Combatants. I wonder if they're scattered through the children, and they're all going to be triggered or awakened. In a moment, the first problem will appear. Good luck. That was weird, strange. What did you think about that? I'm worried. You'll be fine, Anzu, but that's not what I meant. You heard her say Hiruko, right? Oh, did she? Yeah, it felt like that was my name. Me too. But some of them don't feel that. I wonder if it's 8 of them who do. 2 bottles, 2 babies, Tokyo Junior and Junior C? What's the C? They're identical, aren't they? Yeah, that's the same fucking baby. Uh. What is this sound that's in the background? The dripping and trickling. It's like what was happening with Kona when Mimihime was having the vision. Is that what's gonna happen? I hope not. Mina goes dark, and the test begins. Okay, this is some of the most incredible tone setting and setup. There are a bunch of like things like the bwoms in the background as we're building tension at the end. It's a bunch of crazy sound design that makes this whole episode feel sinister and like underwater and trapped, and I'm very excited for what comes next. This is a wonderful foundation. And we've got enough pieces that a lot of stuff makes sense. The core purpose of this facility being to move beyond human mortality, and doing it in one of the most sinister possible ways makes a lot of sense, but it's not everything, because it doesn't explain the Hiruko. It doesn't explain the carrot babies. It doesn't explain a lot of stuff. And so, again, it manages to walk this incredible line that Heavenly Delusion keeps walking, where it reveals enough information to us to feel like we're making progress, and not enough to feel like we've solved the mystery. That's so cool. That could have been the whole mystery, right? But it isn't, because so much more has been built up. But just, oh, they're turning kids into adults. They're brain swapping. Could have been the whole mystery. Could have built up only to that. But there's so much more. There's so much more. And I don't understand what it is. Aliens? Demons? Gods? I don't know. Let's go check Sakagaburu. Give a glance to the episode. I'm expecting some like facial expression moments and the scenes with Mimihime and the like needles and stuff. Stuff like that. Bing bong, bing bong, bing 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 bong. Artist unknown. This is where we get the second one. I think it's so cool. I think it's so cool. I think that the initial frames where it all flickers on, flicker, 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 and there's so much depth in the reflected light off of all the tubes and stuff is where it really lands for me. Once the animated tubes and stuff emerge, it's scary. It absolutely is creepy, but they just sort of flow out of it and aren't really interlinked with the other mechanics of the thing, so it doesn't do as much for me. Golly, it's pretty spooky though. Okay. Next, oh, bunch of kids' character acting. I think this is Hana Okutani's scene. There are a bunch of things like the hand in the water and the characters walking and running and all the different facial expressions and different like mannerisms and stuff. That's cool. Oh, it's brutal. Kazuchika Kisei is the AD for this whole episode, I think. It's it's a brutal scene. The voice actress really sold it. Hello. This is also Kisei. Does this include the Goopin? No, so this is just facial expressions back and forth, which are really crisp but not highly animated here, at least. Eisuke Shirai is the first one, and the mechanics of it. Flicker, flicker, and then wow. That's bad. Kisei on AD. This is when she wakes up from the memory. yawning and hanging out around the thing. Some cool character acting moments. Okay, cool. And finally, it's the goo. It's the goo. This is a really stunning scene. The crimson red and then the deep shadows over her eyes and the feeling like she's like trying to look away from it so that she can pretend that it's not really there. And it's there. It's really there. It's really gooping. Ah. Ah. Okay. That calls it for that. This is weird, but I feel that I need to go back one sec. No, it's very different. It's like flea-like or tick-like. Okay, cool. That's all I wanted to know. Another cool episode of Heavenly Delusion. As far as tone and vibe and scary and unknown and creepy new things being introduced, this was excellent. Just really excellent. I'm very excited for this foundation to move us forward into the final 2 episodes of the season and for us to get whatever conclusion the show wants us to get at the end of this crazy journey. Even just glancing back, I'm so struck by how dense this show is. Even just glancing back at episodes 1 and 2 to go find that scene with the tick guy in it, it's crazy how fast we get to like on the boat and going places, and we've introduced our characters and they've got complex backstories that get more complicated as the show goes on. It's dense. It's really, really shockingly dense. And I really like that in my anime. I think it gives us a lot to think about and a lot to talk about. All the way through, the show's been really interesting. Next week, we're going to see if they stick the landing. If they can stick these last couple episodes, then I think that this will stand out as one of the stronger cores of anime that I've seen, full stop. In a way that's very distinct from stuff like Dan to Dan that's like bombast and craziness, or Dungeon Meshi that's like fun and silly and intricate and interesting, but fun and silly. This is like mystery and tone and uncertainty and supernatural and creepy and dense filmic storytelling matched up right next to stuff like the insanity of having Kai Igarashi direct an episode that ends up being also really dense cinematic storytelling. This is a unique beast. This is a unique beast of a show, and I really enjoy it. So thank you so much for voting for it, for helping me watch it, and for watching it along with me. I'll catch you next week for the finale, I assume, of Heavenly Delusion Season 1. Thanks so much for watching this episode. Catch the next one a little bit early on the Patreon, and then you can look forward to polling, or I might just swap in a couple of shows that I have sort of on my docket that I have to get to. We'll see. In any case, thanks so much for watching this week's episode. I'll see you next week for more and the finale. Much love. Peace.